don't get me wrong. But to think if I had to change a diaper now, at my age, I'd be like, I can't do it. Like, what are you guys talking about? I would do it, but I wouldn't want to do it. So there are young things that you just do and you get through. And that's the other thing about relationships and dating. You should be, when you start dating someone, I mean, I'll give you my wife's example. She comes, without telling you the whole funny story, she comes up to my front steps. She's sitting next to me. She's supposed to be there for 5 minutes. I'm looking at her like, this is the prettiest girl, and I still think this. She's the girl behind me right there. She's over there. She's over there. There's pictures everywhere. I'm like, this is the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to marry her. Yeah. And so before she leaves, I give her like 3 books because I want to make sure who gives someone 3 books? She's been sitting next to me talking on my front steps, for 5 minutes for like 2 hours. She leaves with Mere Christianity, a Christian tomb. She leaves with Atlas Shrugged, this thick, Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, a famous book about capitalism and freedom. And she leaves with Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled, a Christian psychiatrist. I'm like, you need to read these things, and I need to know what you think about them. It's like that. This many books. Well,
if you told the girl to do that now, she'd think you're a psychopath. Tell you to go to hell.
So, but by the way,
but listen, Steve, that's how life used to be, and I think that's why a lot of people think back to nostalgia, whether it was the 90s, the 80s.
But I don't want people to look back like that. I think people. In all seriousness, if you're 24 and you listen to this, or you're 20, listen to this. Don't think back to nostalgia. You may have to do it a different way. But you've got to go find people, not on the internet. You've got to put yourself in a place where, if you're a man, where there are lots of young ladies. You just have to do it. At college, go to graduate school. Like I said, large Southern churches, for me, this is not how I met my wife. She came to my front steps. Sure. But very soon, like, for example, she didn't drink and she didn't want to. My wife's from the Deep South, and she had really 2 requirements. She didn't really date. She had 2 requirements. She wanted to marry someone who didn't hunt. Now, people from the South, that would be like, everybody hunts except me. I just wanted from Rhode Island, right? And didn't drink. That would make me the only person, like, walking around Memphis that she could have married, I think. So actually, when she came over next day or whatever, again, long story is funnier, but I actually had been working out and I had grape juice. And I went to the kitchen when I said, do you want something to drink? Because I didn't know that I was being polite. And I was going to be a party at my house and someone had bought some liquor. So it's sitting there and she thinks I'm chugging red wine and she's drinking water, but I don't get drunk. And so like 10, 15, I go back and get another glass. It's not in a carafe, it's just in a glass. I'm like, you sure you don't want something to drink? It's Walter's grape juice. And I'm chugging it down. And finally she goes, what are you? I said, well, I don't drink. She goes, what is that? I said, it's Walter's grape juice. I just didn't know if you wanted. So she goes, I don't drink either. So anyway, we were engaged about 6 weeks after that. But here's the other thing. There's this whole thing, by the way, I'm madly in love with my wife. I always have been. But what I'm saying is, marriage, if you think it's just going to be like this thing, like a honeymoon the whole time, it ain't. We have a daughter with 11 years of cancer. My wife's been in the hospital for other children more than most people who go to work as a nurse. So there's been a lot of struggles, a lot of things. We've been financially blessed, and I've been able to check out when I was older and so forth. But I worked a lot. I mean, there's stuff like she got pregnant on the honeymoon. So we didn't have a lot of time alone together, in a sense, like, she got pregnant on the honeymoon. So went out into birth control, went out into this or that. So anyway, this is the kind of stuff that happens. But the people who are going in the wrong direction, who might be listening, you have to stop. Like it could be the wrong financial road, it could be the wrong job road. But if you're still 27, you're like, why am I not meeting people? And you like sit at home looking at a phone and you do remote work and you're trying to do something on one of these stupid websites, stop. Or
you're playing video games all day.
Stop and say to yourself, I need help. Like, I don't know how to do this. Laffy's not going to come to my house, so I got to do something different. I mean, there's in life when you're heading down I was heading down the wrong road even in my career.